Hey, everybody, another episode of My Go Live. Today we'll talk about my six powerful takeaways from the Faith Over Fear Business Summit, which just concluded earlier today, this afternoon. Oh, it's already Sunday on my end. By the way, this is day 18 of my 90-day Go Live journey where I take you with me, not just in my business, but also get connected with me on a personal level. This Go Live series is also your opportunity to connect with me, ask me questions, not just in the business, but also motherhood tips and tricks and everything in between. If this is the first time you're seeing me, this is Katrina. I'm based here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I love what I do. I help ambitious working moms make life changing money online. Let me know, guys, if you're still awake, if you're still with me before I end my Saturday. It's actually Sunday, early morning now here in Toronto, but I don't want to, you know, end the day without going live again as I've committed to this journey with you guys and, provide value to you every day when it comes to business nuggets, personal tips, and also something fun, entertaining. So I am here with you. If you're tuning in live or in a replay, let me know where you guys are tuning in from, and yeah, so we know how global we are. um, I've attended this Faith Over Fear business summit. My first time was last year, and it was game changer. Lots of strategies on business scaling, and this year, same title, Faith Over Fear, and the theme is learn how to exchange your chasing and hard work for exactly who you're called to serve, and how by developing your kingdom offer. So what I like about this is it's not only about business building, but putting your faith first, putting God first in your business, and how you use your business as a tool, to serve your purpose, and also, of course, help other people. And these are just some of my, there's so many because it's a 3-day event. I was able to catch up on the day two and today, day three. But I just want to give you the top six that were really, that I think are really powerful. Um, they are from the sessions for today. So, number one, here you go. First is when it comes to belief, little wins moves the needles. One of the speakers said sometimes we're so focused on, here, tell a story about earning like extra, like little amount, like 500, $300, so it's doable for the beginners. Because sometimes, um, you know, especially if you're already here in the business and you've been doing it for a while, and it's also a reminder for me, sometimes we're so focused on mentioning, oh, you can make like huge amount here, like $10,000 in one day, or $20,000 in a month. Although that's normal for a lot of people already in our business, including me. But for a lot of people who are just getting curious about what we do, what I do, that seems so far fetched for them. So that is a reminder for me, for us here in the business already, to start small, make it doable, doable for the beginners, because they would think, oh, if I do this, I can make extra $300 or $500 a month. I can do that, right? Because they're just starting to embrace the concept of making money online. And for a lot of them, working online, making a living off of social media is still a brand new thing. So if we focus on the little baby steps, that's a huge step for them already. And those are the things that really move the needle. So if they realize that, okay, she was able, instead of course, we want them to see the bigger picture, like 5, 10 years, this is the amount that they can earn. But for me also, going back to the very first day I was welcomed in our online business community. Now it's more than 220,000, I believe. When I was welcomed there, we were just around 21,000 in 2019. So massive growth over the years, just over 5 years. And I started seeing income posts in there. Of course, we don't normally usually put it outside of the private group, but there I saw people making like from 5 to 10,000, 20, 30,000 in a month, and people in a day. I was like, what? I cannot comprehend it. I cannot wrap my head around it, because the biggest I made in my corporate job was 34,000 gross. So making that amount in a month or even in a day, it's just mind blowing. It seems so impossible. It seems so far beyond like my mind can really grasp. So coming from that point of view, and now that I'm here 5 years forward, and those amounts are really like normal, not just to me, but a lot of like thousands of people in our business community. And it's a reminder like, hey, I was at their position too. So make it attainable for the people who are just getting started. Make it easy for them to grasp the concept first. And then from there, they can move like, okay, I can progress from here. I can do that. That's doable. Extra of 300, 500, $1,000. There's also one of my business colleagues just wanting like extra $500 per month. And now she's making like 100. There was a day that she made like 100K in a day, and that's normal for her already. Imagine just, but if you told that person that she can make that amount 6 years forward, she would have not believed it. But because she first believed that, okay, maybe I can do extra 500 here, then she took the next step. Little wins like that. And also, if you're starting out, you don't have any experience, just being able to create your business page or your website with the help of our back office, our funnel builders, that's already a huge step. That's already baby steps that can make you feel like huge jump forward. So focus on those little wins, like those baby steps towards the bigger goals, because that's where we have to start somewhere, right? That's that. Hey, Sophia, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Good morning there. I think, yeah, morning there in New Zealand. Oh my God, are those my eye bags? It's late already. So that's number one. And the second one is this one. Another speaker said, oh, I think it's the same speaker. You have to focus on the vision, and things become great over time, not overnight. And this is applicable for any people, not just in businesses, but also in careers, like in your job right now, especially if you you love your job and you've been there for a while, maybe 3, 5, 10 years, 20 years. I have a fellow business partner. She has been in the nursing industry for 20 years. And we met in the Mexico, in her recent Mexico retreat. And one of her patients, whenever they see her, my nurse business partner, they would say, "Oh, here's the OG," and they would feel calm because they know they're in good hands. OG was like, she's the greatest of the great nurses in there in the hospital. But she became that great person, a great nurse over the past 20 years, because she's been consistently doing the skills, mastering the skills, the mindset of being in that career. And she became great over time, not overnight. And if you apply that also here in the business, a lot of the successful people become successful because of the consistent daily actions over time. I did not become like proficient in using StreamYard like this in just one go. It's a consistent effort over time. So if you are just beginning any journey, whether in this business, in your job, in any skills like driving or biking or baking or cooking, you're going to go there eventually to your goal. But it has to build up, it has a compounding effect every single day. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight. So be great. Give yourself some grace. All right. And then the third one is, I love this. We are new every day. Another speaker is sharing that sometimes we are in a slump. Sometimes it's not the best day of our life. Sometimes we just feel like um, we're out in the dark, or at rock bottom. What's good is the following day, God promises a new day every day. It's a clean slate. And we get to decide. We have the power to turn that day into something better. Of course, with God's grace, prayer and faith and doing the action. I love this. We are new every day. Remember that. So later, when the morning comes, when the sun rises, it's a great reminder, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make this the best day. You have that power to make it the best day of your life. However bad, quote unquote, the previous days or the previous night looked like. All right. And fourth, here you go. You may not be at the top floor right now, and it's time to move. You have to draw a line in the sand. So the speaker was talking about, was telling a story about this, like he was helping a friend move from one place to another apartment. And so they were carrying this heavy couch. They went into the top floor of a building, and then the friend called, and then he said, "You know what? Um, Stop. We are at the top floor right now, but this is not the right building." And then the other friend who was helping him with the couch, they slumped on the floor, and they're like, for a moment, they just felt like so tired after all the stairs that they climbed. They were at the wrong building. Be worse than that. And they were carrying like this heavy couch. And then the friend who slumped on the floor stood up and said, "All right, time to move on." You have to draw, they drew a line on the sand, like, okay, it's a mistake. We got tired. This is not good, but it's time to move on. Pick yourselves up and move on. And isn't that beautiful? Like, yes, it happens every now and then. We make mistakes in our lives, in our relationships, in our business, in our career. We're human beings. We're so prone to, sometimes making mistakes. We're not in a good mood. Sometimes so many things, so many mental loads that's loaded in our brain every single day. And we just make mistakes, right? But we shouldn't stop there. Like, you can wallow for a while. Maybe you can cry a bit for a day or two if it's like really huge. But if it's just like, a little thing, ask yourself, is this 30-minute problem or 5-minute problem, or, a few minutes, a few hours, or a few day problem? You get to decide. You have to decide that, you can turn it around. It's time to move on. I remember when I first had my I think I'm one a few weeks into the business when I first got my very first automated buyer. After a week, my business, I was I was locked out of my Facebook account, and Meta says that like for security purposes they locked out my accounts. I got frustrated. I looked for other people if they were also experiencing the same, and I think that season a lot of people got locked out. And then one of my head coaches was also locked out of his account on Facebook, and then I wasn't able to access my business page and stuff. So I was like, is this it? Like, is my business gone? I was just starting out and I cannot access it anymore. And this one of the head coaches said, okay, Katrina, just let me know if you're able to access your Facebook. And for me, I was like, what? Why was he just so cool about that? Like, I didn't even feel that he's even bothered a little bit because of that situation. And that got me thinking, like, oh my gosh, there you go, my earrings. Um, I got curious, like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm like wallowing for a week already. I was ranting to my direct mentors and coaches, and then they're saying, like, Katrina, this is part of your testimony. And I was like, really? Okay. But, it hurts. And I was frustrated because this is all new to me. Um, and I'm still adjusting to a lot of things. And then that happened. But then I realized, you know what? If I've been like wallowing on it for a week now, and this person just like kind of cool about it and just move on and do other things that moves the needle in his business. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, it's just Facebook. I can create a new Facebook account. I can progress from this. There's so many ways. I'm now an entrepreneur, and entrepreneur solves problems. You know, that's the best thing that we do. Like, we always find ways. And then from then on, I'm like, okay, I'm done wallowing, crying for a week. I'm gonna make this work. And Facebook, you're just Facebook. You're not in control of my business. And then I pivoted from that. And the moment I let go, I kind of moved on already. I created a new Facebook account. That's the time that my Meta, like Facebook, gave me back my account. Like, I just answered some security questions, and that was really like one of the turning points for me early on. Like, we can make, you know, you may not be at the top floor right now, and you can move on from that. You can draw a line in the sand, like, enough is enough. I'm gonna move on from this, and this will be a learning lesson for me. Of course, it's not just gonna be there and forget it, like, totally. We learn from that, and we move forward by carrying the lessons from that event and not, committing the same mistakes that we learn. you know we always decide, and there will be roadblocks, and then we have to decide. And it's not just, okay, I'm gonna do this business and everything will be like, I'm gonna earn like hundreds of thousands every month already. No, we have to decide. There will be roadblocks. You have to decide again until there's a ladder of progression from there. All right. And then the fifth one, here we go. Second to the last is about branding. We always hear about this, especially if you've been here in the business for a while. Branding, are these all about the colors or logos? Of course, those are really good, nice stuff to put in, or your tagline. The tagline that I always say, I help hardworking, ambitious moms make money online. Is it all about that? And I've heard about this already, but it's a good reminder. Branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And it's also something like, you're text messaging about the person. Oh, have you heard about this person? And then the other person would say, oh yeah, that person is like this. Oh, this person is like that. And you're not in the room. They're talking about you. That's your brand. What do you make others feel? And this is not just for people working in the social media. This is basically, what you project to other people. Like, this could be like an offline person. That is your brand. That is your personality that you project to other people, what you make them feel when you're with them. And for us, and for you guys who are interested in working in social media, this is not something like you put up a facade and then you pretend to be like that online and you're a totally different person offline. There's also another speaker there that says, uh, filter up, meaning if you filter up means a brick wall up. And it's funny, and there's just some truth to that, meaning, of course, sometimes I also use like filters in like photos, like, you kind of brighten it up. But I think they're kind of referring to, like, if you put like a lot of filter on social media, especially if you're working on social media, and then and then it's not your like real you, it's not your authentic self, then you kind of put more barricades or put more bricks for you to get connected to your audience. The more authentic you become, it's the easier for your audience to connect with you. Okay, so yeah, something to think about, right? Branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So I got curious. Yeah, and I've mentioned like in my recent go lives that for you, for people who visit or even snoop on my business page, my social media platforms, especially for those moms and parents, what I want them to feel is, I want them to feel empowered, that they don't need to choose between career and family. They can thrive on both. That's one of my goals that I try as much as possible to project on my social media, because that is, for the longest time, that is what I'm struggling with. Like, do I really need to choose? Like, I can't just stay home, because I know I can do more. Of course, I'm not like putting down like stay at home parents. That's the hardest, job in the world. But my calling is like to thrive on both, like in my careers and family life. And I want to empower moms, parents like me, that hey, we can do both. Like, we can contribute to the household while taking care of the family as well. Okay. And last but definitely not the least, hi Rekha. Thank you from Dallas. You guys are still awake. From New York, Nazarene. Hello, hello. Awesome. And last here, before I say goodnight, is when you're running a business. Oh, I don't have water here anymore. Is there will be people who will be curious, there will be people who will be serious, and there will be people who will be your business partner. Sometimes you'll find a joker, but keep on going, because eventually you'll find your aces and you have to work with them. Not really you have, but you get to work with them. I think that's a better term there, especially if you're here in the business. We're advertising on social media. Of course, you run your business the way you like it, the way you prefer it. Some people also do like warm or cold market reach outs, but for us here in the business, it's online. We focus on social media marketing and growing our businesses, for especially for people who doesn't have the courage to reach out to families and friends. Of course, you don't need to do that. We use social media. That's the majority. That's what I do. How I grew my business for the past. How I've grown my business for the past 5 years. And when we advertise, there will be tons of people who will get curious. Like maybe you watching this right now, you're getting curious. Like, what is Katrina every day doing every day? Like, going live. Um, there are people, a lot of people who are will be curious. Like they'll ask for more information. How does this work? Is this legitimate? Is this a scam? Or what's the cost involved? Do I need to show my face? Just like all those people who are asking questions, they're curious. And then out of those curious people, there will be those really serious ones, meaning there will be people who will really like register their name and email address to watch the info session. And then they will take the next steps. They will be welcome into the community. And then eventually, they would really progress onto the next step. They will become business partners as well. And then so, sometimes, once in a while, there will be people who will be like, I don't want to say like bad apple, but some people, if we're human beings, there will be people who won't be sharing the same vision as you. Like when they started, they will things will change, things like that. So those are like the speakers and the joker. But eventually you'll find, like among all those who are curious, serious, and your business partners, eventually you'll find the aces. These aces are the ones that who are really serious and who will progress steadily in the business amidst all the challenges. And what's good is you get to work with them, nurture them, love on them. Not just them, but all the people who would be interested. But these people, you get to work with them. So if you've been here in the business for a while and you're feeling frustrated, or maybe you are just beginning and then you're already getting anxious, like, okay, how soon will I make money here? How soon will I, progress, see the results? Da, 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 da. Hang on tight. It will come, it will grow. Day in, day out, you just have to be consistent and you will find those aces. You'll find those results eventually. We cannot control the results, but what we can control, what we have control over are the activities that we do every single day. I have control over how I post, what I put in here, how I do my go lives. Those are the things I can control. How I put my ads out there, how I respond to my leads, to the questions that I get. I have control over that. I have control over my mindset. I don't have control like how many business partners will be joining in a month, or how many leads will I be getting in a day. Of course, I do have targets, I have goals, but consistently, as long as I put my ads in there, I put in the daily work, going live and working on my mindset, tracking my results, and helping out my business partners. I have control over that, right? And eventually the results will just follow. There you go. So find your aces, right? Oh my gosh, you guys are still awake. It's already past midnight. By the way, for those of you, I think, is it just here in Canada? Correct me if I'm wrong. We'll have our daylight saving time. So it's fall. We're gonna fall backwards, I think, at 2 a.m. I still get confused how that works. But when you look in your phone, like especially the automated phone, the time, the clock, it will automatically adjust. I think at 2 a.m. it will fall back to 1. Is it like that? Just check your phones or your clock that's connected to the internet. Okay, so just a gentle reminder, because I still get confused. What does that mean? That means we get early sunrises and early sunsets. So it's longer because it's fall. Usually gets darker way earlier. I think we get a little more sleep, or I don't know. Getting confused, but just check your time, okay? So that is my value for you guys today. I hope you find something helpful, and you can apply it. There you go. Arlene, hello, from Vancouver. What time is it there? Like 9:50. Almost bedtime also for you, Reka. So I only wanted to listen. Oh, thank you for making me part of your night today, Reka. From Pemberton, the BC people are still awake. Oh, because it's just 9:15. It's just a weekend, right? We have to savor the weekend. Hey, Coach Dexter, you're still awake too. It's still almost 11 p.m. There you go. USA get also in the US. Oh, there you go. High five to us. I think that's a good that's a good thing for us, I think. Right? All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you again tomorrow for another Go Live episode. And God bless you. Go for your go. How do I say that? Go for your dreams. Is that the way? And oh my gosh, my brain is not working anymore. It's nighttime. It's too late. All right. God bless everybody, and see you again. All right. Bye for now. Thank you.